And we welcome you back to the Prentice Awesome Hitting and Air Coach's Corner. John Ding is here with Coach Adam Renshaw, the head coach of the Siegel Stars. A tough one last night, Coach. Played what I thought was a really pretty good physical Lebanon team, more physical than I was anticipating. But your guys hung in there in the first half and missed some opportunities, I think, offensively. It just couldn't move the football as consistently as you wanted to.
Yeah, 100%. We had some, we had some breakdowns in scheme. I thought, once every drive there, made it hard to stay on the field, put our defense in some bad situations also. And, we just didn't execute like we needed to last night. Frustrating, disappointing, but at the same time, we do see some things. If we can get them fixed, we can certainly improve in the future.
You had moments where you did run the ball. There were some good runs, but then it seemed like at the worst time, the critical time, you couldn't get that big first down. It seemed like that when you needed to, or you got set back offensively. On the ground.
Yeah, I agree. And, give Lebanon some credit right there. They have some good athletes on the field, and their scheme, they've done a good job coaching their kids and getting them in the right places on third down. And so we struggled in some of those places.
I know as you look at the game, you kicked off in the second half. You were down, kicked off in the second half. You stopped them on that drive. I think there's a shot there. I think you're in the game.
Yeah.
But they just moved the ball, went down the field, and they kind of scored a critical touchdown on you. And they took up 7 minutes, I guess, of that quarter, just about.
Yeah. Well, their quarterback scrambled, made a critical play on that drive, big play. That was the thing. We do some analytics, and there's 7 areas that we concentrate on in football games and try to be try to beat the other team at, if you will. One of them's big plays, and they had big plays offensively last night, and we did not.
Yeah.
And so that's that was a critical space. They the very first offensive play from scrimmage from them was a big play. It was a bust in our secondary, and so things we got to execute better at.
And I guess the word to me is maybe consistency, more consistent with them a little bit in terms of, because they made some big plays and the defense played well, I thought, early on, except for a couple of big plays.
Yeah, at times. I mean, in high school, you want to make offenses go the whole field and not let them get big chunks of yardage and say, kind of dare them to execute all the way down the field. And I think that's kind of the premise of our defense a lot. And the big play element of what went on last night really did hurt us. And give them credit too. I mean, they had some really athletic kids in spots that made it tough on our scheme. So not to make excuses, but they played really well.
They had one play, I think, in the second half of a pass play in the end zone, and I thought the coverage was pretty good there.
Yeah.
But he just threaded the needle and got it right there to him. He came up with it.
Yeah, made a catch in the back of the end zone. Nate Hand was right there, and that's one of those plays you just got to say, congratulate them on a good play and move on. But that play alone didn't beat us, and I mean, if they've got to make plays like that to win football games, we have to feel pretty good about ourselves. It's the other things that we got to work on.
I know there were some good runs by you guys.
Yeah.
Again, I go back to the word consistent. You'd have a really good run, then you'd have one where you lost some yardage, and it just never could get in sync, it seemed like. I don't know what the reason is behind that, but I think they played well defensively on the line. They're pretty good size, but that word consistent just keeps coming back to me on offense.
Yeah, 100%. Well, they were moving their front, and some of the way they were doing their schemes, it was kind of all or nothing. We did gash them a few times, and I thought our backs ran really hard.
Yeah.
Braylon Albee ran really hard. Michael Batts got in there at the end of the game, ran really hard, and I thought at times our offensive line matched them and handled them, but there's some things we got to do a little better scheme-wise, I think, to help our kids out right there.
Oh, he's a pretty good little running back. I mean, he made some good runs at the game. Critical time. I know third down conversions was tough last night, but as you assess that whole game, I know Lebanon played pretty well. I mean, they surprised me how well they played.
Yeah.
But then again, you had moments and you had chances.
100%. And I think, really critically, first down offensively was bigger for us maybe than third down, because we kept getting ourselves in bad third down situations, and no high school offense is good enough to overcome those critical third down situations when they're 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 15, and 3rd and 9's hard, but we like to call it the 4-yard war. We got to get some 4-yard plays in there and be consistent in getting those, and last night we were kind of all or nothing.
Yeah, in the hole before you can even get started. That's a good assessment of that, because and you made a great point about high school teams. They can't. It's hard for a high school team to score and be effective enough if you're facing that. Heck, there's even pro teams that don't want to be in a 3rd and 15 or a 3rd and 20 or that kind of thing. They want to get those 4 or 5 yards too.
100%, 100%. And I think that's that'll be an area of emphasis for us at practice this week. And one tough thing, and our boys have had a great off season, worked really hard, and when it don't go well, that can be really frustrating. You've invested so much time into this, and so much passion and so much of your heart, and then when it don't go well, you tend to get emotional about that. And the truth is this is football. This is ball, and you got to keep it in its proper perspective and realize there's things I can do better. It's really about correcting my fundamentals. It's not about correcting my emotions. It's about correcting my fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're going to challenge the boys to do that this week. We got great kids. They worked really hard. They try to do the things we ask them to. And
there's no quit in them.
Yeah,
they don't have
no
that.
quit in these boys.
Yeah.
They work really hard, and like I said, I don't want to coach anybody else. I'm a Siegel star, and I love these kids, and I want to coach the snot out of them. And so, I feel like we've got some things to work on, and if we correct them, we can be a really good football team.
Had a big win the first week, and this loss. Now we move into some district play. And let's face it, the district's tougher because there's more of them, and they're coming at you. Stewart's Creek's next.
Oh, yeah, playoff team last year, a really, really good team, and they're 2-0 right now. Played really good football both these 2 weeks, scoring a lot of points, and so they'll be a huge challenge for us. But, one we're excited to go take on.
Yeah, that's a game that it's not make or break. I mean, we're so early in the season, that kind of thing. But you kind of see where you're at and where you can go from there after you play them next week.
Yeah, well, honestly, I'm glad it's a district game. I'm glad that all the Rutherford County teams are in there together, and we play each other in JV and freshman ball, and these games mean a lot to our kids, and so I think it'll be a tremendous atmosphere. Coach Caudill does a great job over there. We'll have those kids ready, and so. We need to lick our wounds a little bit and go to work and get ready to go after it again Friday night.
And another road game, which then you get to come home. And play a game.
That's right. After these 3 road games, hopefully we get the benefits of back end of a schedule. It's a little kinder to us.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I think it makes me in. I don't know. I think being on the road kind of tells you more about your team by the time you get home.
Well, I think, some of the things people don't realize about a road high school game is, for example, like we're out there meeting at halftime last night and they're cooking kettle corn across from us. Try to coach in that environment.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit surreal at times. And so, that being said, we've, you got to plan and you got to know your road environment, and you got to get to a place where you can have your kids' attention when you're coaching them, and sometimes that's really tough.
And you probably got some kids that have never been on a road trip, and now they've gotten two under the belt. This one won't be too bad. It's not very far to travel, but they bring a crowd now at Stewart's Creek. They really support. So, but I think you like that. I think you like the challenge of that.
100%. We like those games, and if you look at our schedule, our non-district schedule is pretty tough. So. Obviously last night, I really think Lebanon's a good football team. We made them look good at times, but Coach Gentry and those guys, they got good football players and good scheme. They did a good job, and so those are the type of 6A games we're going to play every week.
Well, it went down 231 this week, but I noticed the crowd was pretty good. You had a good little student section over there on your side, which I know the kind of person you are. That's important to you because you love that support, and you love the community to come out and support the Stars. And you've done a lot to help that situation, I think, since you've been there.
Oh, well, I think, Siegel's a great community. We got great kids, and student body included. And so, it's fun. We got a fun group of kids. I really do think they were supporting us all 4 quarters last night.
They were still there.
Yeah.
They were there at the very end, and you got to give them credit for that. And good things coming to Siegel as always, and they've done a great job, Coach. That's Adam Renshaw, the head coach of the Siegel Stars. They're going to be at Stewart's Creek this coming Friday, right? There's so many Thursday games now, I have to double check on that.
Yes.
And this portion of the show is brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Try to say that real fast, Coach. That's Dan France Concrete. And the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com. Coming up next, by the way, good luck next week.
Thank you.
Coming up next is Floyd Walker, the head coach of the Eagleville Eagles, as we continue with the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner.